everyone.
Hello.
Today I'm going to talk to you about the disability laws. Think of a time when you had your child. The first thing you said to the doctor was, "Are they breathing?" Well, once you hear they cry, then you think that everything is okay. Then later on that day, the doctor or pediatrician comes in and he sits down. And then you wonder, is there something wrong? And he tells you that there's some issues with your child. There could be something wrong with his blood, or he has too many chromosomes. Then he tells you he has Down syndrome. Then your world just comes to an end. You begin to wonder, is there something that I did wrong? And then you begin to get afraid. You begin to think about the unknown, because you don't know if there's laws to help him. You don't know if he's going to be able to succeed in life. Will he be able to take care of himself on his own? So you get afraid. And I was that mother one time, because the doctor came into the room and he told me that there was something wrong with my child. I was afraid. I didn't know if I would be able to take care of him, because he was born with microtia, and that is saying that he was born with one ear. By having this, he also had a learning disability. And I also wondered, would he be able to take care of himself? Will he be able to live on his own? Is there any help out there for him? So whether you have a child with disability or not, and you may know somebody that has a child with disability, there are laws out there to help him. As we look into the laws that are used to protect the rights of those with disabilities, we will find that there are several different ways to protect them. We protect them as children, and we also protect them as adults. The first law we're going to talk about is the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. Congress passed the law of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. They passed it to make sure that people with disability would receive the training they needed to get employment and live a productive life. According to the Rehabilitation Act of 73, one of the issues was on-the-job training. An example of that would be working at the YMCA. At the YMCA, they could be standing in the front where they would train the kids when they came in, or adults. Instead of kids, they would train the adults when they came in to scan the people. And that way they could see if they were using somebody else's identity. Another service that they had was when they were working, they didn't have to worry about how they was going to get to work or how they was going to get home, because they provided transportation at no cost for them. The next law we're going to talk about is the IDEA, or the Individual with Disability Education Act. It is a federal law in the United States that governs how states and public agencies provide special education service to children with disabilities. It was also established to make sure that children with disability have a free, appropriate public education. According to the Individual with Disability Education Act, one of the things that they offered is an IEP, Individualized Education Program. An example of that would be a TCAP. In this plan, if a child has special needs and they were taking a TCAP test, and in their plan, it could say that they're supposed to have an extra hour while they're taking the test, or that they could have 45 minutes. In the IEP, it states that they had extra time to take their test. The IDEA 2004, Congress made an amendment to the original IDEA law that reauthorized, according to the IDEA 2004, one of the main focus points was the attendance of the team. And when I say attendance of the team, I'm talking about the teachers, the principals, and anybody that had any issues dealing with this kid's education. An example would be the teacher not wanting to be there because her particular subject was not being talked about on that day. The teacher can only not be there if it is written in a letter form and sent to the parent, and the parent had agreed to that. Section 504 is the next law I'm going to talk about. Sometimes referred to as a civil rights law because it protects the children and the adults that have more than one disability. According to the Section 504, it forbids discrimination by any program that receive funding from the federal government. An example of this would be a blind girl. A little girl was sent to school at 3 years old because she was blind, so she was in a blind school. Well, when the administrators and the teachers found out that she had more than one disability, they did not want her there. They said that she was hindering the other kids who did not have more than one disability. And this law right here would protect her from that. In my conclusion, I hope that I have informed you of these laws because they were put in place to eliminate the chance of the discrimination from anyone when it pertains to disabilities. They might not affect your family today, but they could tomorrow.